The only one that has taken good photographs of Frank Lloyd Wright has been me, and I dare anybody to challenge that. Mr. Wright opened the door and said, "Everything here is important, so photograph anything that moves you." I started working the next day, and I was completely baffled because Taliesin was something I had never seen before, but I could recognize that it was sculpture, and so I approached it as sculpture.
Most great buildings are experienced through photography. Unless we are fortunate enough to travel, the building we know is the photographer's image, the one the camera has recorded. This is the image that enters history. It becomes iconic. In the great images of great buildings, the eye of the photographer and the eye of the architect meet. These pictures give us both the architect's intention and the photographer's understanding of that intention. They become one. I have stored in my mind's eye many of Pedro Guerrero's photographs of the work of Frank Lloyd Wright because they have achieved that state of perfect, transcendent documentation. The view of Taliesin West in the Arizona desert, with the giant native rock punctuating the structure's flowing horizontal lines. The great living room of the Wisconsin Taliesin, with its rich mix of soaring space, sheltering hearth, and oriental antiquities, are unchanging, absolute. Once seen, these images are never forgotten. The art of the photographer has caught the genius of the architect in a way that joins their vision forever. And that is the point. These images endure, whatever may happen to the buildings in the intervening years. They transcend the moment to become the ultimate reality.
We grew up in Mesa. The Mexican kids went to the Webster School. The blacks went to Booker T. Washington School, which ironically was in Mexican town. But the Mexicans had to walk all the way across town, a whole mile to their school, passing 2 or 3 schools that were set aside just for Anglos. The segregation didn't bother me because I wasn't aware of it. The shock came when we were integrated with all the schools around us. And suddenly you realized that you were different. I was madly in love with my 4th grade teacher. Towards the end of the school year, the rumor was that there was going to be a party at her house. The day ended at the school. We came back to the class and Miss Bell actually said, Maria and Dolores, you can go home now because, you know, what we're going to talk about does not apply to you. And I thought, oh my God, this is great. You know, I've been singled out. I'm going to stay anyway. Then she looked at me and she says, oh, Pedro, I meant for you to go too. And this absolutely shattered me. I had to walk from here. My desk was just about 5 feet from the door, but that seemed like miles that it took me to get out of that room. I never forgot it, never forgave her, and I did forgive myself for not walking out with the girls. That would have been the beginning of my taking a stand, which later on I never passed up.
Mesa in the 1930s was a small place. It was almost entirely an agricultural community. The opportunities for a Chicano boy at that time would have been distinctly limited, and that wasn't what he wanted.
I decided to go to the Art Center School to study art, but the art courses were taken. And rather than come back from Los Angeles and start this whole agonizing life that I was living in Mesa, I asked them what else they taught, and they said they taught photography, and I said, okay, I'll take that. Up until that moment, I had never even considered the idea that I'd become a photographer.